Pete Donaldson for Absolute Radio. I'm joined by Noel Gallagher in what could only be described as sort of like a church hall at the moment, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's a little bit church hall-y. A little bit closer to home, though, than your usual gigs, I suppose.
What do you mean?
Well, you live North London, don't you, I guess?
I do live not far from here, yeah. I live in Maida Vale, but yeah, I've never been here before. It's interesting.
There's a rough old Irish pub next door.
I've been in the pub. Yeah, I didn't. People told me where this place was. I couldn't picture it. When I pulled up outside, I thought, I spent an afternoon in there once after a very, very, very dubious night out.
A very dark day.
It was a dark day, but the night before was scandalous. It was great.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
It's the first day proper of like the promo tour, effectively. Do you kind of relish the graft at the moment? Do you
yeah.
You like getting back out?
Yeah, only do it for the work.
Yeah. Can you be a bit more selective when you're choosing gigs, though? Because
I don't really I don't choose, if I'm being honest. I've got a lot of people sit around a boardroom table do that.
Right.
Even back in the day, we never used to get involved in where we played.
Yeah.
If it was up to anyone in the band, we'd never have done Nebworth, because we just, we'd have been just like, can't be asked. Do you know what I mean? We get called in and they say, this is what we think you should do, and then you just go look at it and go,
fine,
whatever. You know?
I don't like Seoul. I don't like Japan.
I'll go anywhere.
Yeah.
The more exotic, the better.
Yeah.
I prefer not to tour in the winter if it's all the same to anybody else. If anybody's ever been to Canada in January, we did a gig there once, and the gig had to get the gig was cancelled because all the equipment in the van was frozen solid and they couldn't actually get it out the back of the van.
What part? Well, the locks and stuff? I mean,
the whole of the entire thing was frozen solid like a block of ice, so we had to wait 2 days for the gear to thaw out, and then
just get the hairdryers on it.
Then do the gig, yeah. Yeah.
You'd hope that your guitars are a little bit better insulated for the ice and the snow. Goodness me.
Well, you'd have thought, but they seem to have survived anyway.
Yeah, you did all right. You're also playing Calling Festival in Clapham Common.
Yeah.
Very, very soon. Pretty exciting. You're obviously playing with the Bunnymen as well. They're an interesting kind of blueprint, I think, to a certain extent. Do you agree in that they'll just go away for a couple of years and then come back with some really interesting new stuff every single time?
Scousers for you. They do, if we're talking about, they do it for the love up there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not in it for the rewards, and it wouldn't be a surprise to anybody from the northwest that they're still. McCulloch, I know him well enough to know that he'll still believe that tomorrow he'll write the greatest song ever written.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
He's still got that drive.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I seen him for the first time a couple of years ago at the Albert Hall at the Teenage Cancer Trust, and I'd never seen them before. I informed him of this.
Right.
And he was disgusted that I'd never seen them before.
That is a surprise, because.
Yeah, well, I'd never, wherever they were playing, I was never there. But they blew me away. Actually, they were great, really great. He's a legend, isn't he?
Talking about people who do it for the love, I think you quite recently talking about working class acts not fostering an environment where other working class acts can kind of come up behind them and ride the coattails effectively. I think you mentioned Kasabian and a couple of others. Do you almost sort of see yourself as being almost at fault with that? Because you and Pulp, the Manic Street Preachers, you were kind of like a working class act shouting about working class issues and wanting to sort of kick the back doors in effectively of the music industry. Bands that came after you found it hard not to seem like they were affecting an Oasis style when it came to producing music.
I don't know, maybe people overthink it a bit too much these days. I don't know. I know we never, when we started, we the music that we made, or that I wrote, was a product of the talent that the band had. We weren't the greatest players, you know. I've remained just about average as a guitarist, you know what I mean? I don't know, maybe people overthink a lot these days. I do think that the lack of voice in the working class thing has a lot to do with, working class lads in bands can't seem to sustain it anymore. Yeah. Because
there's no money in music, really.
Well, not only that, most of the rehearsal rooms have been shut down now because they're being sold off to make wine
luxury
bars,
flats and stuff. Yeah.
You know, from Mumford and Sons and Bastille. And you know, I don't know. I feel that the working class music has been edged out of. They certainly don't have a voice in the charts or a voice on TV anymore, which is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, all the working class voices are kind of on the talent shows, effectively, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
in a homogenised
can call them
format, effectively. The album comes out very, very soon indeed. This is probably one of the first albums that you've produced yourself, pretty much. Did you find that exhausting? Did you find that kind of...
It's not exhausting. It was creatively and technically it was easy, you know, because if I list the kind of things that a producer does, then I've been doing that for years anyway. You know, so I didn't find it difficult. I found it difficult to juggle my social life.
Right, okay.
And making
you did this
record.
in London, didn't you? Rather than LA.
I did it in Clapham.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
And I did it round the corner from the Calling, where we're going to play at the Calling Festival. I managed to pull off the brilliant trick of making a great record whilst not affecting my social life.
Okay.
One bit.
Multitasking. They say men can't multitask. Goodness me.
I'm not a man, obviously.
Was it hard to say, right, this album's finished? Because half the job of the producer is sort of making people walk away.
I'm good at getting there, and I'm good at letting it go, and
right.
I know when I've made enough records, good ones and bad ones, to know when something is finished or it needs more work. Might be the most least self-indulgent person in that respect ever. I know it's done.
You know when it's done. You know when to sort of walk away effectively. A couple of tabloidy kind of questions to finish us off because we've got limited time. Read in The Enemy about Ed Sheeran offering you box tickets for his gig at Wembley. Have you taken him up on that offer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, massively.
yeah. My daughter's going to go with friends and Guzzley's free champagne.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be there. I think I'll be playing to a far lesser crowd in Kazakhstan somewhere for probably half the fee.
Did when you talk about something like Wembley, I remember, I think it was your last Wembley gig. I think it was one of the few gigs that happened in 2008 at Wembley. You sort of coming out of all these porta cabins, and I just remember sort of thinking, that's not very nice. Just a lot of porta cabins backstage. I thought it would be like this really palatial kind of.
Well, I mean, our dressing room was the England football team's dressing room.
Yeah.
Porta cabins would have been for promo and this kind of thing.
Okay.
The last show that Oasis did there was great, but I can assure you this: the after party, which went on, I didn't leave Wembley Stadium until the next day. It was widely regarded as one of the greatest after shows of all time.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
You take a few pennos. Did you manage to get back out on the pitch?
No, we didn't leave the dressing room till all hours of the morning. It was we had a fun night. We had a great night actually. Yeah.
So I imagine Ed Sheeran's going to be doing pretty much the same thing. You imagine?
I would hope so. Because he's young enough. He should be
the future of the nation.
He should be kicking the living daylights out of it. But I don't know. Maybe he'll stay up with James Blunt playing bridge till 4 in the afternoon. I don't know.
Get the old capo out.
I don't know. I don't know what they do. Playing top trumps or something.
And the interview will be up online very, very soon indeed. So you can check out what, I don't know, Noel Gallagher looks like in a church hall in Tufnell Park. All reports point to that gig being terrifically well received on Twitter and beyond. A few people I know are down there. I actually took a sneaky peek of the set list a little bit earlier on. The gig they're doing at Tufnell Park tonight, preceding their main headline and Teenage Cancer Trust tour and Clapham Calling and all that.